Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with another hot take. This one on the virus. This is more of a worldwide national take as opposed to my normal New Jersey rant. Bishop strong arms parishioners over mask. A Colorado bishop is giving his priests and deacons permission to withhold sacraments from parishioners if they dissent to his mask wearing policy. Well, that's a bit much. That's a bit tyrannical, don't you think? Um, I mean, I guess you could say inside the church you're required to wear a mask, but to withhold sacraments, it seems like a step too far. A step too far. The bishop, according to Gary, had given the deacon permission to discontinue mass if the mask mandate was not strictly followed. After the letter was read, Gary witnessed one of the armed security guards with a hand pistol approach another parishioner whose mask was hanging around his neck. The armed guard escorted the parishioner out of the church. Jesus, man. That's just too much. Church militant. What the hell is a church militant? Is that the name of the church? All this is way too much. You people are taking this thing. Look, there's no joke. It's no joke about the virus. Someone, friend of the family, just passed on from it. It's no joke. If you're of age and you have comorbidities, you've got to be careful. You should get a vaccine. But people under the age of 50, 60, they are really not that at risk. It's a very tiny amount unless they have a comorbidity they don't know about. And some people do. And some people very rarely, they just get very, very sick. But it's extremely rare. And you can social distance, and you can wear a mask, and you can wash your hands. If you do all those things, you're in pretty good shape. That's about all you can do. This virus is in the air. This is just too much. It's too much. I know you're trying to help people. You think you're trying to help people, but you're really oppressing them at this point. The bishop isn't a scientist. Virginia Teachers Union insists students get vaccine before schools open. No, the teachers need the vaccine. The teachers are older. They're at a tiny bit more risk. Now, most of them aren't going to be over the age of 50. The kids are germ factories. There's nothing going to change that. Nothing. Catastrophically wrong. German court declares regional lockdown unconstitutional and potentially explosive decision. Well, great. Awesome. Finally, things are going to start to open up in Germany, at least, it seems. A German district court has declared a strict lockdown imposed by the government of the central state of Thuringia last spring unconstitutional, as it acquitted a person accused of violating it. Yes. A trivial case about a man violating strict German lockdown rules by celebrating a birthday with his friends has ended up in a decision the German media described as politically explosive. The district court, the city of Weimar, did not just acquit the defendant, but also stated that the authorities themselves breached Germany's basic law. Exactly. This is what's eventually going to happen. Unless you intend to lock down the population for the rest of eternity, which I wouldn't put past these people. It's too much. It's too much. There are plenty of viruses that can kill you. We do not lock down the population because of it. There will be more people dying from the results of the lockdown than anything else. People kill themselves when they lose their job and their life falls apart and they lose their home and their business. They kill themselves. Some people are already on the brink. You put this kind of pressure on people, they snap. They go bananas. Not everyone's strong. Most people are very, very weak. Stop pressuring them. But unfortunately, the people who are making oodles and scads of money, they don't care. And that's what it's always about, money. Speaking of money, Fauci chilling how science was distorted, rejected by Trump. I think it's chilling that you rejected masks. Yes, Dr. Fauci told us, the WHO says No mask. Oh, it would be silly to wear them. You could get sicker. Isn't that what you said, Fauci? Saint Fauci of Saint Fauci's hospital? Or wherever you practice your wacky medicine? The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Anthony Fauci said in an interview Friday night on MSNBC, The Rachel Maddow Show, that it was chilling how President Trump distorted and rejected science. Oh, well, we can see what side of the aisle you're on, Bush appointee. Fauci said it was such an unusual aberrant? It should be abhorrent? I think, is that the word you meant? Situation where you had to be at the very top, and I don't take any great pleasure in criticizing president leadership. No, I think you take great pleasure in being on television and hearing your own voice, Fauci. And I'm getting pretty damn sick of it. Who could listen to this guy after he told you not to wear a mask and then wear a mask? After he came out and said, well, you know, I told the public one thing about the percentage, but actually I just didn't think they were ready, so I basically lied to them and then told a different percentage later. He's full of it. I know one thing. I know the virus exists, but I also know Anthony Fauci is full of it, and I wouldn't trust him. Beer virus narrative shifts with Biden's inauguration. What a surprise! It's only what I've been saying since the beginning. Officials ease lockdowns. Virus plateaus 2 days after it was accelerating. Of course, it's all going away. In a few days, Biden's going to open the country up. Because, look at the numbers dropping. They're dropping. The World Health Organization has officially acknowledged that the gold standard PCR test used to diagnose beer virus has a high rate of false positives that make it unreliable, meaning the number of cases have been overstated. Will they go back and check all the other cases and lower all the numbers? Or will they just stop counting them? I tell you what I think NJ.com and the state of New Jersey will do. I think what they'll do is they'll stop going back in the records to find people who died of the beer virus from weeks ago. They'll stop doing that research because they don't need the deaths now. In fact, they want it to go the other way. And it's like I said, the moment it's not politically viable for them to keep pushing this narrative, they'll go the other way. No, the virus is done. Virus is done. It won't matter if bodies are piled up in the streets. They'll tell you it's not the virus. Those people must have died of something else. It's not the virus. That was cured by Joe Biden and the Democrats. Everyone knows that. That's how the game is played. And the World Health Organization, you could just throw them in the trash. Even those guys have been saying lockdowns don't work. Not that Biden's going to listen or not listen to them. He'll just do whatever the hell he wants. Whatever will make that old man some more money. Because, this 80-year-old decrepit mummy needs to stuff his pockets full before he dies. Because no one needs more money than his crack-addicted prostitute banging son, right? Biden says nothing we can do to change pandemic trajectory in the coming months. Nothing. It's all just going to go away. We changed the rules. We changed how we count. Now it's all going away. Yeah, we'll see what happens then when your relative gets sick. I think my grandmother has beer virus. No, she's probably fine. She's probably just a cold. Go home. Go home, citizen, and pay your taxes and hope you don't die. That's what it's going to come to. We're going to go from every patient has to be immediately incubated and put in a pressurized room to, nah, you're fine. Why? Because there won't be any money in it. Biden's probably going to end the program, the CARES Act, that gave hospitals extra money for every beer virus patient they found. Because now they don't want it to happen. This is driving me crazy. Ugh. Dang it. Hate when I get a cuticle. Yeah. U.S. death toll expected to reach well over 600,000, says Fox News. Maybe not. Because even though people will die, they won't be counted as beer virus anymore as soon as they change all the parameters. This is just the beginning. It's all going away. This time next year, it'll be like, oh yeah, remember last year we had to wear a mask? Ha ha ha. UK chief scientist says new virus variant may be more deadly. There is evidence that there is increased risk for those who have a new variant. Chief scientist says. Maybe they're just trying to keep the UK locked down more than the United States. I don't know. Maybe it's all part of a new plan to roll out a new virus every year to scare people and keep them under wraps. I don't know. What I do know is these people are full of S, and I'm sick of listening to them. WHO modifies virus testing criteria on Biden Inauguration Day. May result in fewer positive. What a coincidence! They did it the same day. I'm sure it has nothing to do with anything. It just so happens that was the day they picked. What a coincidence! The World Health Organization. You know, the organization that's run by a guy who was put into his job position by China. That guy? The guy who presided over a cholera epidemic in his home country of Ethiopia? That guy? The guy who's not a medical doctor? That guy? He runs the World Health Organization. He's the one who told you not to wear a mask. Then he said, yes, wear a mask. Then they told you to lockdown. Now they say lockdowns don't work. Isn't that funny how that works? Yeah, I could be the World Health Organization too. The virus is bad. The virus is fine. The virus is good. The virus is bad. See that? I covered all my bases. I'm always right. Just like the WHO. I don't know about you. I'm getting pretty sick of these people. Pretty sick.